What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list before Friday. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, when it comes down to a squeeze, you either need a big macro data point or potentially a specific company catalyst to be a driving factor for a squeeze. And so we've had a lot of data this week. We had Powell and also interest rate decision on Wednesday, GDP Thursday, and then on Friday we have the dreaded PCE. Very directly correlated with what Powell mentioned as key data to really watch for. So if this data does come in better than anticipated, and right now it's coming out at 7:30 a.m. Central, then this is where you could see many stocks continue to run higher. And so for those of you that are new to the channel, I don't just choose the most heavily shorted stocks. It's a combination of short score, recent price action, because of course just having a stock being flat and heavily shorted doesn't really happen or help anyone, right? You need good momentum already, kicking it off, leading into PCE. So you have that and a lot of other data points I'm going to go over. So getting right to it, stock number 5, you do have ticker NITO, currently sitting at $1.17. Over the last 1 year, it is down 23.03, and then over the last 1 month, it is up 350.17%. This is what they do. So fertilizer and agricultural chemicals, 3 employees, founded in 2009. So feel free again to pause it and read through it, but we are here because of this. So short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 79.17. 11.29% of the free float is being shorted. So like I said, not the most heavily shorted stock, but with the combination of, for instance, cost to borrow as well, average being 336%, it is very costly to short this company. So side note, that is an annual rate, not a daily rate. That would be absolutely crazy, but 1.14 million shares overall are being shorted, and this is the change that happened on Thursday. So shorts did return 230,000 shares. And as well, one thing to take note of is right now there's 150,000 shares available to be shorted. And I bring this up because if a stock is, for instance, limited supply, you could see some corresponding buying from BlackRock and whatever else, as they like to buy these types of stock to lend out, because looking at the cost to borrow, even through IBKR, 200%, that is absolutely insane. And most likely that's what happened today, how it jumped from 4,000 to 100 and then to 250,000. All big money buying it. So regardless, this is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, you have ticker ALUR sitting at 535. Over the last 1 year, it is down 92.96. So definitely been rough for it. Recently, it's been gaining some good momentum as well as some abnormal volume to take note of. This is the profile right here. So specialized consumer services based out of the US, 503 employees, but we are here because of this. And just so you know, the top 5 is based on the short score. So that's what I'm kind of determining the number 1 through 5. But short score 78.95, 12.12 is that percentage of the free float being shorted. Works out to be 206.85 thousand shares overall are being shorted. And just looking at what shorts have been doing, they have been definitely doubling down, increasing their position. So recently the low was around 6%, and that was on January the 28th. So very reactive with the price. And then cost of borrow average is 360.39%. So very high stuff for that as well. Through IBKR does indicate around 1,000 shares is available to be shorted. So once again, you could see some corresponding buying in the next couple of days. Even better yet, if PC is better than anticipated, so it comes in lower, that means a lot of these stocks, you might have a nice bump up in the stock price. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Moving on to stock number 3, ticker RNAZ. And it is at 805 right now. did go down 4.17% on Thursday. Over the last 1 year, it is down 67.26, and then over the last 5 days, it is up 26.27. So like I said, gaining some pretty good momentum. It did have a high of around $15-16, and that was on January the 28th, so a couple days back. But aside from that, that is right here. So biotech, 8 employees, founded in 2016. And shorts always love biotechs because, of course, it comes right down to the wire for pretty much good results on the phase 3 and whatever else. But shorts have been very, very reactive. So with the stock price going up 26% recently, shorts have been doubling down. So they went from roughly 18% short interest to where it is now at 54.69%. 237,000 shares overall are being shorted. Short score on the side note is 80.49, and then cost to borrow average is through the roof, 559%. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 100 shares is available. So pretty much all 3 stocks so far are limited supply, because in reality, if you think about it, why wouldn't BlackRock, which has a massive, they make a lot of money from doing this same thing, why would they not buy it and then lend it out? Even through IBKR, it's 509%. The average, as what I mentioned, was 559. So that is insane numbers. So definitely something to take note of. Moving on to stock number 2, ticker ORKT. Sitting at $1.37 over the last, looks like it's been trading less than 1 year, but over the last 5 days, it is up 102.06%. So definitely kicking ass, taking some names. This is what they do. It is based out of Singapore, but IT consulting and other services. So this one, actually, I have seen abnormal volume. It's actually been trending in pre-market and stuff like that. But 15.92% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 1.14 million shares. Short score 81.29, and then very high cost to borrow as well, so 234%. And they have been similarly very reactive to this stock, so shorts have been getting in. So short interest in December, end of December, was around 3%. So where it is now, 15.92, they've definitely been doubling down. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 10,000 shares. So once again, another stock, very limited supply. And then finally, last but not least, moving on to stock number 1. This one oddly reminds me of another company, but Reborn Coffee. Reminds me of, I think it's West Rock Coffee, another very heavily shorted stock. Sitting at 203, did go down 11.35% on Thursday. Over the last 1 year, down 32.11%, and then over the last 5 days, it is still up despite it pulling back, so it's up 30.81%. This is what they do. So food retail, based out of the States and founded in 2014. But we are here because of this as well. So short score 81.53. 18.06% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 374,000 shares. So a lot of these stocks, on a side note, is kind of what the market likes to squeeze. Somewhat heavily shorted, low float. So this kind of meets the criteria. Cost to borrow as well is very high, 379%. Shorts have been definitely trying to suppress it. So short interest was around 1% in October, and now it's at 18. So definitely something is happening. One thing that I do want to bring up is a very rare scenario. Doesn't happen all too often, but shares on loan, 180.4 thousand, and number of shares being shorted, 374. So there is more shares being shorted than on loan. A very clear sign that there is naked shorting happening with this stock. So like I said, it's very sometimes rare to see this type of scenario, but yeah, it's definitely happening with this stock. And then through IBKR does indicate around 6,000 shares is available to be shorted. So once again, you could see some buying from all of these stocks today, big money buying them to really kind of lend out shares, take advantage of the cost to borrow. If PCE does come in better than anticipated, shorts might be in a little bit of a pinch. So let me know your viewpoint on these stocks. Do you own them? Is there any other kind of squeeze stock that you feel could really do it? And I don't know, throw some tickers in the description below. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, I did create a Patreon roughly around 2 months ago. Many of the stocks I put out have been absolutely on point and bangers. Some have doubled, some quadrupled, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.